Lebor, Gabala, Erenn is a story of the taking of Ireland. It tells of many invasions, many heroes, and many villains. It was written by both the Irish and the Christians, and is sort of a mixture of both cultures. The story is not very well known, surprisingly. It begins with Genesis from the Bible. So if you don't know Genesis, here's a quick 15-second summarization. So basically, God made the world in 6 days and then got lazy and then stopped, and then Lucifer turned into a river and then told Adam to sin, and then they got kicked out of God's cool club, and now all humans on earth are bad, and now God is going to flood the whole earth. And that's Genesis in a nutshell from the actual text. So then we start when God is mad. So of course he logically decides to flood the whole earth. Of course Noah's told to leave, but he decides to tell his granddaughter, Cecier, to go west. Cecier takes a whole fleet of boats with her, and when she arrives on this new piece of land, only one boat is left. But luckily she has a fun time on the island. She meets a husband named Fintan, and it's all going lovely until then the flood comes and kills them all. Except for Fintan, who survives by turning into a salmon and runs away. So after 300 years, some Greeks arrive. Their brave leader, Partholon, steps onto shore. But now there's monsters on the island, and then they just fight a whole bunch of monsters. Why are there monsters? Anyway, they actually do surprisingly good, until they all die of the plague, and then one guy survives by turning into a salmon. So then, some new guys arrive, and they have this guy called Nemed. Now, Nemed is a skilled warrior, and actually defeats 2 of the monsters' kings. But then he dies of the plague. So then after that, the monsters invent taxes, and tax everyone very heavily. The humans do not like that, so they commit the largest tax evasion in history, probably, and kill the guy. But then some guy called Mork comes over and just kills all the humans. But this time, no one turned into a salmon. A little while later, some new humans show up. But then, literally no one's there. They just get the island for free now. Then these people that are basically gods, but it's never specified what the hell they are, so I'm just gonna call them superhumans. But they show up in a thunderstorm and then just declare war on the humans. This one person called Nuada leads the fight and is very qualified to be king, and does a great job winning the battle, but loses his arm, so he's unable to be king, since, as we all know, no arm, no crown. So this other guy called Ioku becomes king, and has a whole bunch of arguments with his dad for 700 years. But then Nuada returns with a silver arm, and then just becomes king. But then, the monsters show back up. This time, they have a 200-foot tall Cyclops named Balor. Balor kills Nuada, but then some guy named Lu kills Balor with a slingshot rock. Lu had successfully defeated the monsters for good, and then became king for 10 years before being stabbed in the back. Okay, so after that, the Irish people finally show up. Yes, after all that, the Irish are finally here. They ask the superhumans if they can just be chill, but they respond by having another war. Then, they ask for a 3-day truce, so the Irish stay 9 wavelengths away, but then the superhumans summon a thunderstorm around the island. So then the Irish sang Wonderwall and turned into salmon. The superhumans were so blown away by this, they just gave up the island. Okay, they didn't actually sing Wonderwall, but they might as well have. They only just sang a poem, but I prefer the version where they sing Wonderwall. So, that's Lebor, Gabala, Erenn. It's a very chaotic and makes no sense.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.